Yo, welcome back to another episode of Crackhead with a Microphone, the only podcast in the world where you hand a crackhead a microphone and you listen to him talk until you wonder if you're the high one. My name is K Rock Dizzle. Let's get into it. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I feel like I have the weirdest conversations and interactions with strangers, bro. Like, I don't know what it is about my life that just attracts weird conversations to happen, but they do. So I'm gonna just go over some of the weird interactions I've had with strangers in the course of my life. Um, this first one, it wasn't even really a conversation, but it was definitely just on the side of like weird interaction, right? Now, no, I'm waiting for a bus. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. I'm waiting for a bus. I'm going somewhere. I'm chilling, and the bus was delayed slash can't I don't know something happened with the bus, so there's a lot of people waiting at the stop for the bus. No, it's like during rush hour, so it's already a lot of people waiting for this bus in general, but it's a bit higher amount than normal waiting for the bus. Now, I'm not like stressed or anything. It's the bus. Like, you stand there, you wait, you get on the bus, whatever. And another person that is waiting there is this like middle-aged woman. She looks like a mother. She like not like she looks like bad body wise, but she just looks like motherly age, you know. But I don't see anybody with her. And the way this like stop was set up is like, if y'all know the Market Frankfurt line, like y'all know those West Philly stops, like the 52nd and 60th Street, like you come out and the entrance to the entrance slash exit is behind you. So she came from behind up to where the stop was. She came from behind me, and I didn't see her come with anybody else. So I'm like, oh, she's waiting, like whatever. I'm minding my business, and I kid you not, like 10 minutes into waiting for this bus, she looks my direction. She points in my direction, looks like she's pointing at me, and said, it does like the come here motion. I look around, I'm like, I look to my left, I look to my right. There's no one. Like, I'm like, so I just kind of like take a step, and like, I'm not gonna say it was towards her or away from her, but it was definitely in like the same radius as her. But I was looking from a different angle, and she's looking at me like I'm stupid, and I'm like, the fuck is she looking at me like this for? So I'm looking at her like you made a motion, then now you're looking at me like that. Like, we just exchanging real looks, and out of nowhere, I kid you not, this kid who had to be like 12 or 13 steps from behind me stands next to her, and then she starts talking to him, and I'm like, where the fuck did this kid come from? This kid was behind me the entire time, and the fuck part about it is, I looked left, right. He was behind me, so I didn't see him. Then when I stepped, this nigga stepped with me. Like, why is this nigga right behind me? Like, I'm his fucking wall of protection. So now I'm still looking left, right when she's looking at me crazy because this nigga's still behind me, and then he has to come from around me. Like, fuck, is he trying to hide from her? Nigga, get the fuck from behind me. Like, and he was so quiet. Like, I didn't even have my headphones in or nothing. He was just quiet as fuck. Like, this nigga popped out like he definitely was in trouble for something. I don't know what happened to them prior to prior to them getting off the train, or like if he got in trouble at school or what the fuck was going on. It's summer, niggas ain't even in school yet. But like, I have no idea why he was hiding behind me like I was his protection. I don't know who the fuck is this nigga. Like, that's how I feel. Play that one song, bro. Like, like I swear on everything, bro. Um. So yeah, like I just can't be dealing like with these strangers, bro. Bro, another weird conversation, bro. Bro, peep how funny this shit is. I'm at this like board game night, right? This was a couple weeks back. I go to this board game night. They do it on Tuesdays at this bar. So sometimes if I'm like chilling or whatever, I'll go down there, bring some games or whatever. And most people know I keep some games on my backpack. Like, I keep board games at my crib. Like, I have like I'm cool into the board game shit. So I pull up to this one game night. I'm by myself. But like, I went by myself, but there's other niggas there when I get there. and I'm chilling, and like I'm just looking for somebody to play with. A lot of people are already taking up more games or like signing up for karaoke, so it's like whatever, whatever, bada bing, bada boom. This one dude comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, are you trying to play any games?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." Like, it's loud. I'm not really trying to cheat nobody. Like nothing crazy that they don't know. So I pull out Uno cards. Why this man ain't know how to play Uno? Like, it was so. That was such a surreal experience. Like I've taught people how to play games before. I've never had to teach somebody how to play Uno, and I'm not even on some like, oh, you don't know what Staxies is or how to stack draw fours or whatever. He did not know the basic. Like he had never seen Uno cards before, and I'm like, yeah, it's Uno. You never played? He's like, no, I never played this. I'm like, oh, he's like, yeah, I play Go Fish. Why you? Why is that your go-to game, bro? Like, I'm not even trying to laugh because, like, he cleared. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to him because he definitely came out. He popped out for a new experience. He was trying to meet new people. Like, it was definitely like a lot of bravery on his point. But there's people in here playing like Settlers of Catan and a DC deck building game and like really intense stuff. Like Uno is the simplest game you gonna find in this bar, and that's only because I have it. And for this man to really be like, "Yeah, I've only ever played Go Fish," that told me the level of extent of like, this is where he's at, and like it just was a culture shock. Because where I come from, like shout out to the like I get I'm not gonna say that, but like they like you if you want like people went to school with me, like Uno is that game. Like I always say like Uno is a young nigga version of spades. Like we don't play spades, we play Uno. Whoever got Uno cards, like it's up. Boom 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 boom. Like you learn how to be ruthless at Uno at like 5 in the city, bro. Like I was at one of my friend's birthday party. It was like a 4-year-old playing Uno. There was no mercy shown, bro. Pick up them 10 cards. Like so it just was definitely like a bit of a shock to meet somebody who had never played Uno. But like I said, shout out to him because I know it can definitely be hard to come into an environment like that and try to thrive. And I definitely like I taught him how to play. Like we played a couple hands. He was like, "Oh, I understand. Like this is kind of fun. Can you play this with more people?" Like we were talking about the game, but it definitely was like weird at first. Who else? Who else have I talked to? I told y'all about that stranger lady who swore up and down I was John, bro. Like I kid you not. To this day, she still thought I was John. Yo, another person. Like I don't know when it was, but like a while ago, someone came up to me. Oh, hi. Oh my god, I haven't seen you in so long. Da da da. They ran up, tapped me from behind. I'm like, hey. They like, wait. I don't think I know you. I'm like, well, that's good because I know I don't know you. Like, bro, every single time. Yeah, I knew I didn't know her. So when she tapped me from behind, I'm like, who the fuck? Like, once again, who is this nigga, bro? Like, I don't know what it is, bro. I try all these different hairstyles. I like at this point, I'm about like I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do to not be confused for other people at this point because everyone thinks I'm somebody they know. Even on the phone, bro. Like one time, bro, I kid you not. I kid you not. I get a text one day, bro. This is like what a year ago. I'm chilling. I'm in the living room with my parents after work. I'm straight chillaxing, bro. I get a text talking about, hey, unknown number, unknown as fuck, not even my area code. So I'm like, I'm trying to think because at this point I'm still working from home, so I'm on the Jeopardy music going on in my head as I try to figure this one out. I'm like, do 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 do. Like I'm really sitting here like, do I know this person? After about like 2 minutes, I just kind of text back like, "Hello?" Question mark. Like I gotta insinuate like, you know, somebody I know got a new number or like you just off. Shorty was just off. She's like, "Oh, hello. This is like I don't know. I don't remember what she said, but she said like this is so and so." I'm like, I don't think I know you. And she's like, oh, isn't this so and so from the grocery store the other day? I said, no, you have the wrong number. And she says, okay. She says, okay. I'm like, okay. Then, like, 3 minutes later, she texts back and is like, well, I'm still like, it was just very polite of you, like how you talk to me, and like, what's your name? What? Like, you're so bored, bro. Like, damn, I'm trying to watch fucking, like, I don't even remember who's watching, bro. Probably Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune, because my parents are old. But, like, we was watching some chill shit. We was watching some chill shit, and now here you come on. Well, what's your name? And, like, I don't want to be impolite, but I don't want to, like, uh, I'm not gonna lie, I give her a fake name. I was like, oh yeah, my name's John. So she's like, oh my god, John, like, how are you? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I just got off of work. She's like, oh, okay, like, do you own a business? Okay, I don't know who this person is. I don't know where this area code is, but this person don't know how to do small talk. Because why the fuck did you just ask me if I own a business? Like, that's such a random ass question to ask somebody. You don't even know me. We already established you don't know who I am. You literally don't even, like, I gave you a fake name. You had to go with it. Now you talk about some, do you own a business? No, I don't own a fucking business. Like, what? Okay, whatever. So then the curiosity getting the better of me. I'm like, I don't recognize this area code. What city is that? This said Toronto. Now, I don't know. I'm gonna keep it a whole stack. Now, how the fuck are you in Toronto trying to text the wrong number that's a Philadelphia area code? It's too many questions and not enough answers. That's all I'm gonna say on that front. Because how it's too many questions. Where the answers and no holes at? I just be remixing songs that I know. Like, don't you can't even say a phrase around me because I'm gonna fuck around and either sing a song or sing a remix to a song. Anyway, too many questions. How the fuck you get a Philly area code? Which digit in this number is wrong? Did you just text a random number? You're not my number neighbor. This is not when that trend was going down. So what in the everlasting hell? Like, how'd you get my number? And why are you asking me if I own a business? And then why did she ghost me after I said I don't own a business? Like, you only fuck with business owners? Like, do you own a business? No. Like, are you a scammer? Like, scam likely? Like, what the fuck? Like, shit, shit wasn't making any sense. Shit was not making any sense. I cannot. This is over a year ago. Damn, time be flying, bro. This was like a year and a half ago. Damn. Anyway, but yeah, like weird shit, bro. um, Another weird conversation, bro. And you know what I'm about to say? This is the one that made me want to record this episode, bro. Even though actually the one that made me want to record was the bus episode, but bro, I thought about this the second I said I want to do this episode, bro. A nigga bro, a bunch of niggas try to get me on a cult, bro. Like, I don't know what it was. It felt culty the way they was maneuvering, bro. And I don't know if I told this story in a podcast before, but I'm gonna just tell it again because if I did, I got a bigger audience system anyway. So once upon a time, in a magical time known as January 2024, I lost my job. And no, was it I lost my job? No, damn, this was before that. I made that up. Once upon a time, I was I was just looking for shit to do. Like, I had just got out of my last relationship, and I was like, I'm living with my parents. Let me go try to like be my own person, see what I like to do, yada yada yada. I had found like the meetup. I was on the meetup app a lot, just seeing what events was going down. And there was this event. It was like an open mic night, and it was around the corner from my house. I'm like, okay, cool. I go to that. I meet a bunch of people there. Turns out they're part of a church or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. Like y'all do this. Like, you know. Fast forward, they like do Bible study every like other week or whatever. But I end up like, there's one dude. There's one dude in this group. There's a group of them, and you know the first red flag that I didn't even peep was a red flag because I don't know about cults is that all these niggas live together, and none of them are from the city. And it just kind of like they were like, oh yeah, like after Bible study, they were like, oh yeah, you can come over, like we got video games, whatever. Like you can come to our house, we'll play Mortal Kombat and da da da. I'm like, oh cool, like that's whatever. And it turned out a bunch of them lived together. I didn't realize that they were all living together, which people told me after the fact, like, yeah, that's a sign of a cult, but I didn't know that. So, um, we do Bible study every now and then, and it's really, really normal, except for this one dude who we'll call like Mark. Mark is always like everyone else is like, yeah, we're a church, but like we do regular stuff. Like we'll hang out, we'll do like video game stuff, we'll play board games, like we'll do like they just felt like regular cool people. Even if I, like even without the religious aspect, like I could be cool with a lot of them. Like, oh yeah, hop in the Discord chat, we'll watch wrestling type shit. Except for Mark. Mark always, without a doubt, no matter what the conversation was, no matter what happened, he always turned the conversation back to religion. And it's like, okay, I get it. Like he is very religious. Like he was in school to be a pastor. Big question mark. Because do you have to go to school to be a pastor? That don't seem like something you need a degree for. But I don't know. I don't know. But he just like any time he talked, he was like, "Yeah, I only follow the word of God." Like even when I was like, I had told him about a movie I saw. He was like, "Oh, that just seems very anti Jesus." And it's like, bro, what? You live with all these niggas who play Mortal Kombat. You talk about a movie being anti Jesus, and it didn't really make sense to me. And I did kind of like, out of all the people in the group, he was the person that I kind of talked to the least because he seemed like the most secluded. He was always doing like after Bible study, he was doing a second Bible study in his room on his laptop and like shit like that. So like a month and a half go by, me like we're chatting. I meet up with them every now and then, like nothing crazy. And I like in the midst of telling them, I'm like, well, yeah, like I told them that I do like I work with my parents on Saturdays to like help them with their businesses and stuff. And I at the time I was working on Sundays. This was this is very important to the story. I always told them I work on Sundays. I work on Sundays, and he just always seemed to get the days confused. He's like, "Oh, you're with your parents on the weekends." I'm like, "No, I'm only with my parents on Saturdays. I have my job on Sundays. Like I have a regular full time job. Sundays is a day that I work." So fast forward, and he calls me one day, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, like, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, we're having like Bible study at the house. It'll be like late after work because we know you tend to get off work late. Like, we'll do Bible study. Everyone will be there. Um, so just come through. We can just do Bible study and hang out or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Like, I don't got no problem with that." I go to their house, bro. Why was it only me, him, and an old nigga there? I'm like, where everybody else at? He's like, oh yeah, some people are just running late or whatever. Okay, like I guess everyone else has regular jobs because he was a work from home boy. So like, if everyone else got regular jobs, it's like okay, whatever. Like they got a school, their jobs or whatever. And then after like 15 minutes, he's like, okay, so we can get started. No, Bible study with them was usually like 15 to 30 minutes. We talk for a bit, and then like that's that. You talk, you pray, all of that. This nigga talked to me about the Bible for like 90 minutes. And it was 90 minutes of him like basically telling me that I'm not religious enough. Like you don't read the Bible enough, and you don't do this, you don't do that. And the conversation started off like normal because it's like, oh well, like how long have you been in the Christian faith? Like I know your name is Quran. Like what's up with that? Blah blah blah. Kind of weird, but like normal, like overzealous Christian weird. So not like fucked up weird. And then this old nigga is just like sitting there. Like he's not really saying much. He's just sitting there with this fat ass smile on his face, just like You're too hype. You're too hype. Relax. Like he's not saying anything. Um. So eventually he started asking me like all these questions like, oh, how long you been in church, blah blah blah. And the question that like really like made him like flip the switch into like bully mode was when he was like, "Do you have any disciples?" Like, no, like I don't have disciples. What? Like people that follow me and my word? He's just like, yeah, and I'm like, not really. Like that's all like such a weird question. Then he's like, well, why not? Um, because I don't like I don't. I'm not a pastor. I don't really go around pushing my religion on the others. Like you know, it just felt like a really odd question because like why would I have disciples? At the time I was 24. Like I'm a 24-year-old dude who lives with his parents and works a full time job, and I really haven't been involved in the church for a good chunk of my life at this point. Like I really don't see like why would I have disciples? You look at me and tell me why you think I would have disciples. You know, the question felt dumb, but dumb in a way where it was like a trick question. So I like, is this a trick question? He's like, no, it's not a trick question, but it's important to have disciples and little like why aren't like you should be going around telling everyone about the word of God. And then he says, do you associate with anyone who doesn't believe in a Christian God? I said, this is America. I work with people like that. like you can't just go around like, oh yeah, like blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, there's a really large Muslim community in the city of Philadelphia, you know, and they're spreading the word of the devil. Yo, don't talk shit about my man's like that. Like that was what was really going through my mind because what the fuck do you mean we can't associate? Like a nigga, why did you come? And then it's like it's starting to click in my head. This nigga is came to the city. He brought all these niggas to the city to try and convert a bunch of Muslim niggas, and they thought they was gonna get me because my name's Quran. And when he learned I was never a Muslim, it was like weird because like it's like, oh, you're not like that's such a odd name to have. You're not Islamic. I'm like, no, a lot of people like when I told them a lot of people city are named Quran, it doesn't mean they're Muslim. They just kind of looked at me like, oh, what? That's crazy. Blah, 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 blah. But like looking back at it, that's really what my brain went to because why would you just say that Muslim people are speaking the word of the devil? Like that's fucking stupid. And like I would never even buy into something like that because in my opinion, at the end of the day, like I'm not trying to get too preachy, but at the end of the day, like we all human. No matter what you believe, like I'm not going to treat you any differently based on that. And I've always felt like that shit's weird to me. That's like one of the reasons I never liked the old people that would be at my church. Like they make it seem like they're the only people worthy of being treated with respect. So I'm looking at him like kind of crazy. I'm like, I don't really like feel that way. Like I know plenty of like good people with good heads on their shoulders and great hearts. I would never say they preach the word of the devil, but I'm not going to convert anybody to something that you know, like this is a don't ask, don't tell thing. I'm not going to force my religion on you. Like I came to y'all like in a time of like wanting to belong and wanting to find my faith, but I did that because I did it for myself, not because I wanted you to force me into it. So he starts talking to me about like, oh well, like you're supposed to be preaching. You're not supposed to associate with anybody like that. And if you aren't preaching, then you're letting people go to hell and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, bro. Like at this point, I'm mentally tapped. Like we only like 20 minutes in this conversation. I'm mentally tapped. I'm like, all right, bro. Certified yapper. We're not playing games. Like you fucking lied to me. And he's talking all this like, oh, da da da. And after about 90 minutes of me clearly not being interested, like I don't understand why this nigga kept talking. The old dude starts talking at some point, like, "Oh, you seem really smart. You seem like you know how to make a good decision." Yeah, I do. Like, like that's just weird. So eventually, he's like, well, I know you go with your parents on Sundays, but, and I interrupted him. I'm like, no, I work my regular job on Sundays. Like, you keep getting them mixed up. And he looks at me, he looks at the old dude, and he looks at me again. He's like, you work your regular job Sundays? I'm like, yes, my parents is only Saturday. I have a regular job that I work on Sundays. I go in on Sundays. And he's like, oh, well, you need to come to church with us. And I'm like, well, it's church after work? And he's like, no, you have to, he was like, you have to change your schedule. No, I'm not like, and I like in my mind, it's like, yeah, maybe I could have went and changed my schedule. Maybe I don't really believe it because one of the reasons I was hired at that job in the first place was because I was willing to work Sundays. So it probably wouldn't have been great to be like, oh yeah, can I change my schedule? And I hadn't even been working there for a full year. But also, nigga, don't just tell me I have to change my schedule. Like, what? Who are you? Like, you just talked at me for 90 minutes about bullshit. Tried to diss the fucking city I'm from. Not even diss the city, but like you just tried to diss like every nigga that's not Christian in the city. Talking mad shit. Like you're weird. That shit was mad weird. The old dude was fucking weird. And um sorry, I'm just getting heated. But yeah, that shit was just weird. So like don't sit here and be like, oh I have to change my schedule. So I told him like I can't change my schedule. Like I work like the reason I'm hired is because I work Sundays. He's like, well you have to quit your job. All right, cut. That's a wrap. Wrap it up. Cause what? Do not like. No, I'm not quitting my job. I'm not quitting my full time employment job because you want me to. Once again, who are you? You're no authority. Like, shit just made me so mad. Like that shit was so weird to me. I'm like, no, I'm not quitting my job. Like, you expect me to just like, how am I supposed? Like, I'm like, for real. Like, you expect me to just quit my job and shit be handy dory? Like, you just like, no, like, you'll find a way and this, that, and the third. But like, this is what you have to do. And I'm like, this is what you want me to do. Like, why would I like no, no. I wasn't even trying to debate with him on a religious aspect. It was really just like I'm not like I straight told you. I straight told him I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. He's like, okay, well, he's like, well, we're supposed to study the Bible like as many times we get. So when do you think the next time we should do it is? And he was clearly trying to insinuate tomorrow. So I was like, you want me to come tomorrow? He's like, yeah, and I'm like, I'm not coming tomorrow. Like I can't afford the Uber here and back. I live across the city. Like I'm trying to be polite at this point because I am in their house, and at this point, like I'm a little scared. Like what the fuck is these niggas about to do? And he's like, oh no, I could come pick you up, nigga. Don't come pick me up. Like on everything. Like I'll Uber home tonight. Don't come pick me up. He was real insistent on it. So I got home and I told him like, bro, don't even worry about it. I'll find my own way there, and I blocked him because that shit was really, really, really weird to me. And like after all of that happened, it was like, yeah, that's a cult. Because why do you like one? You all like y'all just all live together, and why do you? Why are you like the fact that he said like he wants to like convert the Muslim population in the city, and I know for a fact that they were not originally located in Philadelphia. Like y'all all moved to Philadelphia, and then commented on how Philadelphia has a high Islamic rate, and we need to convert them. That's so weird. Like that like really looking back, like even right after the situation, I had told some of my friends about it, and they were like, "Bro, that sounded like a cult." And like even now, it's like, "Damn, that did sound culty." But like even saying it out loud now, it's like, "Damn, that shit really was a cult, bro." Like there is no way that wasn't a cult. So yeah, I just be having weird conversations with niggas, bro. I can't escape it. I can't, bro. I really can't. If I have enough weird conversations, we'll do this again in a month, cause I swear, it's always gonna be some weird nigga that don't know nothing. It's a weird nigga trying to force you to do something. It's a weird nigga that think I'm somebody who I'm not. It happens every single month. Anyway, I want to thank all y'all for listening. If you have enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I'll catch y'all in the next one.